look at this, folks. Governor Jindal, Louisiana, is slamming FEMA and the regime over their slow response to Hurricane Isaac requests. Did you know that? God bless Bobby Jindal. Bobby Jindal is out there, governor of Louisiana, slamming FEMA and the regime over their slow response to Hurricane Isaac requests. And meanwhile, Obama's out there. Oh, looky. Fox is split screening Obama. Hubba, hubba. There's Obama fundraising. Looks like the USC cheerleaders are behind him. And meanwhile, they've got a split screen of the hurricane approaching Louisiana, the satellite view. Anyway, Jindal's out there saying that the regime isn't responding to his requests, and Obama's out there saying he's been working on this all week. Anyway, where's the outrage? The regime and FEMA are not responding to Governor Jindal. Could it be that he's a Republican and might be a factor? Here's Mike in Salt Lake City. Mike, glad you waited. Welcome to the EIB Network. Hello.
Thank you, Russ. God bless you.
Thank you.
I love you, brother. Dittos to you. I'll keep entering the two by T contest because apparently I didn't win the last one. You never called.
Well, but there's always the next one. And we've got, by the way, since you bring this up, we have a couple of barn burners before the end of the year.
Good.
Couple more sweepstakes, so hang in there, be tough.
Well, that's the only way I'm probably ever going to meet you. That's my goal. You're one of my heroes.
Well, I thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that.
First 2 hours, I'm admittedly a little bit confused. Why would Romney choose Paul Ryan and then do this at the convention? Paul Ryan, like Sarah Palin 4 years ago, I mean, they're energizing the conservative base. They couldn't contain the crowds. I thought Romney did partially, at least, to bring the conservatives along like me. But how much do you think Romney is in on what's going on, and where's Paul Ryan during all of this?
Well, what he's talking about, the rules games that the RNC is playing right now with delegate selection at future conventions. First, as to how involved Romney is, man, I don't know, but all I know is that presidential nominees are the presumptive heads of their parties. Right now, the Republican Party is Romney's. He runs it, and has been the case since he secured the nomination. Now, how intimately involved he is in this, I wouldn't have slightest idea, but he's got to know what's going on, and he's got to approve it, unless he has no control over his aides and they're just running around on their own. As for Ryan, Ryan's on the campaign trail. Ryan is, you talk about a full plate. Ryan has the one of the primary responsibilities in this campaign. He's not even at the convention yet. And I wouldn't expect Ryan to have anything to do with this. Maybe he is working behind the scenes after he found out about it. These are things we don't know, but he's pledged loyalty to Romney. That's what you sign on for when you are the nominee. Yeah, he chose Ryan for the exact reason that you said. Look, with all of this going on, there's one thing, folks, that I have no doubt about, and that is that Romney does want to win. He's not in this as a placeholder. He's not trying to pad his resume like maybe Senator McCain was. I think Senator McCain was satisfied just to have been the nominee. And if he'd have won, it'd have been icing on the cake. I think Romney is in this to win it. And I also think that Romney is in this to make real substantive reforms and changes after he wins it. I don't doubt that for a minute. But this business with you show up and everybody shows up united in Tampa and they start playing these games with convention rules while the convention is just kicking off. Man, it's dispiriting to a lot of people and it angers everybody. So I wish that I could tell you more about this and explain to you why it's happening any more than I already have. I know why it's happening, and that isn't anything new. The Republican Party is not a conservative party at its leadership levels. It just isn't. It wasn't when Reagan became the nominee in 1980, and it didn't become conservative when Reagan was the president for 8 years. So there's nothing new here. Attitudinally, what's new here is this strategy and the timing, trying to implement this. Anyway, Mike, I appreciate the call. This is Catherine in Atlanta. You're next on the EIB Network. Hello.
Hello, Rush. I'm health so long I almost forgot why I called. I was listening, talking about all these little negative ads that are going to come out, and you're talking about how they're going to play Katrina footage over and over. I hope they remember to play the snakes. There were snakes everywhere. They'll probably say they're out there now. And then I hope that they show the looters how they looted everything they could get their hands on. And because we're not going to win this if we fight the way they do. Mrs. Romney, they could show that she donated a kidney and a lung while she was raising those boys. It's not going to change the outlook of what most of those people that are not even going to vote for us. So that's all I was thinking about. I just hope you just stick to your guns.
I have no choice but to stick to my guns because my guns are my heart.
Well, I think, it's like we're preaching to the choir sometime, a lot of those that listen to you. And they just give us something, that we can take to our...
Well, about that, this is a common effort, a frequently used effort by critics of this program to say that it's inconsequential. Limbaugh just preaches to the choir. And then in 2002, after the midterm elections, which the Democrats thought they were going to win, and were stunned, that was the Wellstone Memorial and all, they could not believe that the Republicans gained seats in the 2002 midterms. And at the time, the Senate leader for the Democrats was Tom Puff Daschle. And Daschle was so disconcerted and upset over the outcome that he went public with some of their research data that they normally do not divulge. And their research data showed that Democrats listen to Rush Limbaugh. And further, they do change their minds because of Rush Limbaugh. And he went public with this. And he was angry about it. And Daschle's favorite thing to say was, "We're concerned, Tim. We're very concerned." And he went out at his post-election press conference, very concerned. We've got some very unsettling news from our experts, he said, from our research experts. And so preaching to the choir does not explain the growth of this program's audience. It doesn't explain the Democrats' treatment of this program. It doesn't explain the critics' approach to me. So don't worry about that. Sure, there's a large choir here, but it expands. And the choir is made up of converts as well as people who have always believed what they believe. Now, one other thing there's this mystery speaker on Thursday night at the convention. There's a time slot, and the official convention itinerary says TBD, to be determined. And so the media has assumed that means there is a surprise speaker, and they are making guesses. And so are many bloggers making guesses as to who this mystery speaker is on Thursday night. And the popular names are Sarah Palin, Nancy Reagan, and me. And I just want to tell you, it isn't me. It isn't me. What did you want me to carry forth this thing? Why? Why be dishonest? It isn't me. I am not the mystery speaker. Snerdley will never get it through his head. He is so loyal And he loves me so much he just can't believe the truth. I am looked upon, folks. You must understand this. I am looked at by these Republicans that we've been talking about as a liability. I am not an asset. There is no way that they would ask, that they would be, well, a couple of bloggers, as they speculate who this might be, say there are only two people that would rivet the nation to the event. One is Palin and the other is me. They're saying this. I'm not saying that. I'm simply reporting to you what I've seen out there. But I have so many people sending me emails, hey, Rush, what are you going to say Thursday? People think it's me, and it isn't me. I'm not there. I have no plans to go there. So it isn't scheduled to be in Tampa Thursday night. It is not. Don't say that. This is why, folks, they don't have microphones. You wonder why you can't hear what they say. Snerdley is trying to get me to tell you that he's heard that EIB's itinerary calls for it to be in Tampa on Thursdays. There's no truth to that. It's just
why